7.3, proving triangles similar, okay? I may have mentioned, I don't know if I said it to you guys or not. Remember we did SSS, SAS, ASA, AAS, and HL, right? Those were to prove triangles what? Congruent, okay? Now today we're proving triangles are similar. So there's not as many of them because similarity happens in less ways. But we are just proving a lot of proportional things, okay? So there's 3. The first one is one that did not exist with congruence, and that is AA similarity. So you just write AA and then the little tilde. Technically, it could be AAA also, that's not wrong, but you don't need the third A. You only need 2 angles because third angles theorem says that third angle will be congruent, okay? So here's what AA similarity does. It says if 2 angles of one triangle are congruent to 2 angles of another triangle, then the triangles are similar, okay? And this is why it did not work for congruence, because you can have 2 triangles, one that looks like this and one that looks like this. They have the same angle measures, their sides are not the same, okay? However, their sides will be proportional. So as long as we know we have 2 angles that match up with 2 angles, then we know those 2 triangles will have proportional sides. They will be similar triangles, okay? So that's AA. The second one you did do with triangle congruence, it's SAS similarity. So you should understand how this one works, but it's not congruent sides like it was with congruence. Now it's proportional sides. So if an angle of one triangle is congruent to an angle of another triangle, okay, so the angles will be congruent, right? If an angle of one triangle is congruent to an angle of another triangle, and the sides that include those angles. Do you remember what it meant to include angles? The included was always the one that fell between the 2 we were talking about, right? So like in this case, if I'm talking about these 2 sides, the included angle is which one? It's the top one, right? It's the one between them. Okay, so the included angle. Then those angles that is not what it says. The sides that include those angles are proportional. Then the triangles are similar. So if you have proportional sides and congruent included angles, you'll have 2 similar triangles, okay? Third one, also one you had with triangle congruence. This is SSS similarity. And it says if the corresponding sides, in other words, the sides that match up with each other of 2 triangles are proportional, then the triangles are similar. Okay, so with SSS, you'll have like something like this, right? It's not that these 2 sides are congruent. They're not congruent. They're proportional. So that means the ratio of one to the other will be consistent on all 3 sides, okay? Excuse me. So we're going to look at a few examples here and determine, are those triangles similar based on the 3 theorems that we just said? So letter A there. You have triangle RST and triangle NOP. Would you say those 2 triangles are similar? Why not? There is enough information, actually. By what? AA, right? As long as you have an angle that matches up with an angle and an angle that matches up with an angle, we can say the triangles are similar. So triangle, we would say RST. And if we said RST, it would have to be what triangle? NOP by AA similarity. Is there a scale factor here? AA is not a scale. We don't know anything about the lengths of the sides, right? So there is a scale factor, but we don't know it, and we can't find it unless they give us some side lengths, okay? So you don't need to give a scale factor when you write that statement. It's just AA similarity, okay? All right, look at the second one here. Where you need to be careful on this one is this one definitely flipped or turned in some way. So if you think about it, if anything is going to be proportional, then the shortest side has to match up with the shortest, and the middle with the middle, and the longest with the longest. So just make sure you're doing that. So if we start shortest, which one does that correspond to on the other one? 5. The 5, okay? So that means 10 to 5 would have to equal, what would your middle pair be? 24 and 12. Oops. Okay, and then your third one would have to be the 26 and 13. Okay. Are those two triangles similar?
Yes.
Why?
2 to 1.
They're all 2 to 1, right? This is 2 to 1, this is 2 to 1, and this is 2 to 1. Which theorem gets us there? SSS. So we would say for this one that triangle, if we said RKS is similar to what triangle? LPD. Good. By SSS similarity with a scale factor, and here's where Miranda's question comes in very helpful. We found a scale factor going from the bigger triangle to the smaller triangle, right? So I named it bigger to smaller, which means my scale factor has to be 2 to 1. If I named it the other way, if I said LPD to RKS, then I would have to do 1 to 2, okay? Because they're telling you the order so that you know which one compares to which how, okay? So this would be your statement. All right, letter C here. This one can be a little bit tricky, mostly because there's overlap. Do you see your two triangles? Okay, you have, I'm gonna zoom in real big here because I'm kind of out of space. You have this triangle, but you also have the big triangle. Okay. Do you see anything that's identical about those two triangles? Any side or angle that is exactly the same? Angle T, right? That angle T down here is exactly the same on both of them. That's going to come in handy in a minute. So if we're looking at this triangle, okay, we have an angle that matches up with the big triangle, and we have side lengths of 10 and 12, okay? What if we're looking at the bigger triangle? What are your side lengths? 14 and 16.8, and that's where a lot of people make the mistake is they forget to add them together, okay? If we're looking at triangle RTV, okay? This whole side RT is 14, and this whole side TV is 16.8. This is not drawn to scale. I just don't have room to draw it to scale. So comparing the purple shaded triangle to just the one I drew, you can set it up two ways. I could say 10 over 14, or I could say 14 over 10. You just have to make sure that you lay it out correctly from there. So I'm just going to go ahead and say 10 to 14. And if I do 10 to 14, then what do I have to do for my other two? So I went 10 to 14 here. What's my other ratio going to be? Right, 12 to 16.8. Okay, now here's the trouble. 16.8 should not be in a fraction. So what I would do is just divide this, divide that, make sure they're the same. So this is 0.714. This one is 0.714. It keeps going, but they're identical, okay? That means our sides are proportional because they equal each other, even though they don't look like they equal each other here. Okay? What is your scale factor? 5 to 7, right? Just make sure you reduce the one that is reducible that's not got the decimal point in it. Okay, so if I'm saying my scale factor is 5 to 7, first of all, we said this angle matches up with this angle. What theorem gets us to similarity? AA, SSS, SAS. SAS, right? We have the included angle, we got the two sides. So we're gonna say right now, triangle something is similar to triangle something by SAS similarity with a scale factor of 5 to 7. So if I'm saying 5 to 7, which triangle is coming first? The smaller one. So we're going to say triangle STU, similar to triangle what? RTV. Okay, so this would be your statement. Kind of a lot going on in that one. Questions on that? Sean's got questions. Okay, next example is a proof. Apparently I should have drawn it a little bit closer. That's okay. And no, you're not going to have to do a bunch of proofs, but this is just good practice for you to figure out how these things work. So it says, given that MP, oh, man, and I already made copies. Okay, you need to change this. MP is not parallel to MP. MP is MP. MP is parallel to AC. Shoot. So bummed that I did that. Okay, so given that those two lines are parallel, step one is what? You're given, always. Okay, then it says angle A is congruent to angle P. So A congruent to P. Remember, we always mark them as we go. And C congruent to angle M. How do we know those angles are congruent? What kind of angles are those?
Oh, they're alternate interiors.
They're alternate interiors, right? So AIA, alternate interior angles, because they told us the lines were parallel. We know then alternate interiors are congruent. So we can say that the two triangles are similar by what? Look at your markings. What do we know? Angle, angle, similarity. So AA, similarity. Okay? Questions on that? All right. Moving right along. We're going to talk a little bit about indirect measurement. Okay, and that's just finding lengths that otherwise aren't very easy to measure, using similar figures to do it. So if I look at this example 4 here, it says Ben places a mirror 40 feet from the base of an oak tree, and when he stands 5 feet from the mirror, he can see the top of the tree in the reflection. Ben's 5 feet 8. What's the height of the oak tree? Okay, so here's basically what it's saying. I want to know the height of that wall, for instance, okay? Well, I don't have a measuring tool to get that high up the wall. So instead I'm going to use myself, because I know that I'm 5'9". I'm going to stand here. I'm going to put a mirror on the ground. Actually, I don't know where I'm going to stand. I'm going to put a mirror on the ground. And as I back up, eventually, is that reflection? That's refraction? What is that? Science people? I don't remember. But as I'm looking into the mirror, what is that called? The angle of, is it refraction? I don't know either. There's an angle. Ask your science teacher. but there's an angle that comes off that will be the same on both sides. So as I back up, I can see the top of the wall over there, okay? That's gonna help me measure it. Does anyone see why it's gonna help me? So we just,
measure the distance going up, and then like, it makes a triangle.
we're not gonna measure the distance going up, but it does make a triangle.
Is it how far back you step?
Right, you're gonna measure how far back you step, right? So in this case, it was 5 feet from the mirror and 40 feet from the tree. Those are things you can measure, right? It's on the ground, you can measure it. But what happens is, we said this angle is the same, and a tree stands upright at 90 degrees, and a person stands upright at 90 degrees. So those two triangles are similar because of what? AA similarity. So once I know they're similar, then their sides have to be proportional. So if the sides are proportional, I can say, first thing we're gonna do here is convert that. So everything else is in feet right now. I would just call this 5 2/3 feet instead. Let's just do this. Okay, so if that's the case, we need to set up a proportion. Putting 5 2/3 in a proportion is not awesome. So I would again just convert this to an improper fraction, because at least it's one less step. So that would be 17/3. You guys remember how to do that? 5 times 3 is 15, add the 2, 17, keep the denominator. Okay. So the height of the person, 17/3, to the height of the tree, which we don't know, should equal the distance from the mirror to the person and the distance from the mirror to the tree, right? Those are the comparable parts. So we're just gonna cross multiply that. You get 5x equals 17/3 times 40. If you plug that into your calculator, you get 226 2/3. Last step, just divide that number by 5. So you get x equals, and that comes out to 45.3 repeating, or 45 1/3 feet tall. What's a third of a foot?
4 inches.
4 inches. So you could say 45 feet and 4 inches tall. Either way. Okay? Questions on that?